Oh, bury me out on the prairie where the coyotes can howl on my grave.
When my mother turned 16, she was a senior in high school. She knew that the last thing in the world she wanted was to end up as a farmer's wife. She'd always worked hard at school and ended up being the school valedictorian with a small scholarship to Kansas University. And she became, male or female, the very first person in her county ever to go to college.
My mother, before I got on the train, she said, "Now listen, be careful. Don't get to playing cards with people on the train because they'll be after you for your money." So I didn't. Yes, I've told you about that experience of my first day at school. My face was peeling, sunburned from having worked 14 hours out in the sun on the tractor. I'd never been on a college campus before. I loved it.
From her fellow townspeople's viewpoint, my mother was about to go through an almost unthinkable metamorphosis. From being the dutiful, tractor-driving daughter, bound to family and the views of her parents, she joined what in those days was called a residential co-op. It consisted of college girls like herself, the poorest of the poor, who couldn't possibly afford the dormitories. And yet they were ambitious for a new life. So they banded together in a group house, no central heat, no running water, no flush toilets.
I had several roommates. The first roommate, she was an artist, and it was kind of funny because I remember she'd get me naked, and then she'd sketch me. It was a really renaissance for me.
Half of the world here doesn't know about the other half.
She piled job on top of job to make ends meet.
One moment, please.
Connect any two subscribers in a matter of seconds.
Including a stint as a switchboard operator. She told me that on Victory over Europe Day, we had so many calls, the board short-circuited. By far her most unusual job, which must have struck her folks as beyond outrageous, was when she formed a little dance band that featured her singing and playing piano. She named the band Rosie and Her Four Thorns. They performed 4 nights a week at a local bar called the Bloody Bucket, which, she told me, was aptly named. To keep the male patrons from bothering her, she said, I took to wearing a bowler hat and having a lit cigar on the piano. And it got so that I actually liked smoking it.
Yeah, lots of old songs, wonderful old songs. Shine on, harvest moon up in the sky. I ain't had no love since January, February, June, July.
Even more than literature, music was my mother's lifelong passion.
Shine on, harvest moon, for me and my gal.
And one of our almost daily phone calls during the last 6 months of her life, my mother told me a little wistfully, I love playing piano, and I think if I were born now, I would have kept on as a professional musician. But I knuckled under to what girls were expected to do and became a teacher. I love teaching, so I can't say I regret it, but still. When she was a girl, she'd overheard a neighbor woman playing piano and was so deeply affected that she asked the woman for lessons in exchange for helping her around the house. My mother was a highly gifted musician and soon outstripped her teacher. In less than a year, she was playing for the church choir every Sunday. Then, one day, as a complete surprise, her father brought her a piano. She told me it was a real extravagance. Right at the height of the Depression and the dust storms, none of us could believe it. I didn't find out till later that my dad had been asked to get rid of the piano by a neighbor. But when we tried to get it into the house, it was too big. My dad sawed the legs off it, carried it in, and that was my first piano.